Hello everybody, my name is Chris and this will be my review for Disney's Wish. Now I will start out by saying that I did have a nice time watching this film. Now I really like all the songs here. I think they are pretty good, especially two of them really stand out for me. But this film has problems. Now, what's the bad with this movie? Now, well, I will start out by saying that questioning the authority and rebelling against authority figures, while an important message, I think is really more appropriate for young adult stories, and Disney animation is really an all age entertainment. I think this concept is just too complex for little kids. I feel that Jennifer Lee, the head writer here, and Disney animation today, when the recent feels, I feel like they don't understand who the core audience is and who are like going to show up for this movie, because it's Disney animation and I just don't think they went too far in the other end of the spectrum with the rebellion of the stuff to maybe get other people who normally won't go to check this movie out. And Disney animation's primary goal is to get you to watch this movie. Now I also think that the story and here uh, I will say that the head of Disney Animation, who is also Jennifer Lee, the driving force behind the Frozen movies, I feel that the story here it just feels so unfocused and the writing feels sloppy. Like, is the Kingdom of Roses supposed to be like the United States where everybody is immigrating there? And is it that supposed to be like the land of opportunity? That right? But then why are they trying to say by having the subjects of Rose volunteer and give up their wishes at the age of 18 in the hopes of having them magically granted? Not only is odd that no one has questioned that. I mean, some people's doing are more achievable than other. So you'll be like, that's okay, Kingdom Magnifica. I think I can accomplish this one on my own, right? So I thought it was a bit weird. Now I also think that this Disney project is way too female centric. We King Magnific I mean, the only male character with significant screen time in this movie, up against what it seems like largely the woman of his kingdom. So I think that it needed like another male character in here, or increasing the role for any of Asher's male friends will have helped balance out this movie significant. Now this movie it celebrates the 100th anniversary of Disney, so it's chock full of Disney Easter eggs. And I would say that from Asher's friend model after the Seven Doors, and there's some other ones that are even more overt, but I don't want to give it away because, like, the fun part of the movie and Easter eggs is to they surprise you while watching this movie. Now, moving on, I feel that this movie feels like incomplete, and what I mean by that, what I said earlier, the story feels unfocused and sloppy, and it's just they're trying to do way too much in a 95-minute runtime for this movie, and it's an all ages movie, so the strokes are so broad that it seems more like a sketch, which is ironic because that's like the style of animation they're chosen to go with for Wish here, and it just doesn't feel like a fully baked Disney animated feature film. But now moving on to the great stuff of this movie. Now, Chris Pine's Magnifica. I'm a big Chris Pine fan, and this work combines all of his talent. I mean, comedy, dramatic, singing. He's extremely well animated here, and he does a fantastic job bringing this character, voicing this character. I think he's an excellent addition also to the Disney villains pantheon. I mean, maybe not top tier, but I think it's right up there, and I think they lay some things not so clear with his character. I think they to explore more there, so I think we for sure maybe we'll see this character again in something Disney does, especially in the parks, because it's a very fun and quirky villain to have here, and Chris Pine is just doing his excellent work here. I do really like also a Aisha, a Miss Race Disney heroine, wonderfully voiced by Academy Award winner Ariana DeVos. Now, obviously, DeVos can sing, but I was really impressed by her voice acting as Asha. The character really leaps off the screen and is able to hold our attention in hearts, which is vital because sometimes the movie starts to lose focus, but you're always interested in what Asha is doing. So I think that helps a lot. I also really like Alan Tudyk as Valentino Dogo, even though just from the trailer alone for this movie, he was doing like the same, and he does this in the movie, the same voice that he does like in the as Clayface in the Harley Quinn series, animated series. If you have watched that show, it's particularly the same voice, but his character here in which it has lines that are just too funny and too good, and again very well animated, particularly with facial expressions. So I just love the guy. I think it was a blast having in this movie. And then is Star. Now this is a fantastic character, and it also gave me like a Tinkerbell vibes to it. Now I think this character, I think Disney is a character they can use a lot, especially in the Disney theme parks, and again very well animated. Now in terms of the group of Ash's friends, I thought they were okay, mostly because there's too many of them and not enough time to really develop those characters, and especially because they are voiced by really wonderful people, but they don't have the enough time, and that doesn't give them enough to do in this movie. Moving on to the different styles of animation, it didn't bother me. I think it was actually good, and no one does fairy tales like Disney, so it was really nice to be in the Kingdom of Roses and from the main city and the woods that surrounded. It was just it felt very special and very magical, and that's how Disney fairy tales supposed to be. Now, in terms of the song in this movie, I think, like I said before, they are pretty good. I didn't dislike any of them, but there are two particular sounds that really stand out for me. And the first one is just by far the best sound of the movie. It's called This Is the Tense I Get. This is a Magnifico's number sequence. I mean, the full sequence, it really is incredible. The musical number alone, just for that, you should watch this film, honestly. And Chris Pine is on the top of his game here, using like all of his talent here. And the other song that I really enjoy here is Knowing What I Know. And it's an interesting song because I think it gives me vibes of other songs that I seen like in other Disney movies, animated movies, and usually it feels more like a sound for a type of villains, you might say, but here is like the good ones as singing the song. So it was a very interesting take on that, but it was a really good song. That were the two songs that really stood out of this movie. They are just really magnificent. Now, this movie is co-directed by Chris Buck, and Jennifer Lee is the head writer here. And this is like the same duo that was behind in the Frozen movies. And I think this movie, which in some parts have is similar to Frozen. So yeah, Disney's which has a lot of problem, but I still have a nice time watching this movie. And maybe because I also love Disney animation so much, and this one is by far better than the other recent Disney animation movie. Especially I think quite is far better than Strange New World. And honestly, I will see this movie again, maybe in theater, but if not in theater, I will be for sure watching it like in Disney Plus. And I think that this also, in order to maybe to find it to another similar Disney movie, maybe like the. You remember the movie Tango, also from Disney, I think. I think that movie is just like the perfect sample for this. I think if you enjoy that movie, I think you're really going to enjoy Wish watching it, especially if you like Disney animations. And just for the number of the dance sequences, the songs, those two in particular, and the voice cast is just stunning here. Like I said, like the story sometimes lose focus. It's now very well contrasted, especially because of the runtime and other stuff, as I mentioned before. But still, I had a nice time watching it. So if you are really into those things, so you're going to really enjoy this movie and have a good time watching it. So that's my review for Wish. If you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, consider subscribe to the channel, and thank you for watching. Bye bye.